Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
So guys,
What's
how's it going?
It's going.
Well, this is gonna be an awesome show because it'll be our last one for a couple weeks because we're about to get our renovation started. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
And boo at the same
Yes,
time.
it's a yay and a boo, but
Hey, maybe with everything going on in the world right now, we'll have enough news by the time this is done.
Yeah, we'll have enough for a show.
yeah. So I don't know exactly how long. I mean, could be like 4 weeks, could be like 8 weeks, could be like somewhere in between. We'll see. We'll keep you posted on the Twitter and the Discord. So, hang out with us on Discord. Jeez, come talk to us. Be losers with
Right.
the rest of us.
Catch up on old shows if you haven't. Go back to go back to 83. Go back and watch them all through. You could do that. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
When we all look like babies.
Let's not go back that far now.
We looked pretty young back in the day, that's for sure.
Well, what games has everybody been playing this week?
I got a short list. I did Modern Warfare. I did some solo Warzone part of the week. I really enjoyed doing that just because it was kind of nice to play through and just see how I could do on my own. Like try to figure out how big the backpack is that my friends are having, and I finished. I think the highest I finished was in the top 10 by myself, and then the other ones I didn't do too bad, but I didn't do great on one of them. Like I think I ended up in 100th place out of 150 on one of them.
Nice.
Not last. That's
It
the
wasn't
way you look at
last.
it, not last.
It wasn't last. But I did I did pretty well. Owned a few people or whatever, because normally I'm changing my play style, because normally when I would play those, it was more of a cautious camping style. Then you'd move and then do whatever to try to figure it out, and then just let everybody else eliminate each other and then do the battle. Now I'm doing the opposite, where I'm trying to get in. I'm still trying to go to a further place so I can get loaded up, but then I'm trying to go into the battle after that once I get loaded up. But so there's still be
2 names for that. It's
Yeah.
rat gameplay and Chad gameplay.
Chad
If you're a
gameplay.
rat, you just sneak around and pick up the scraps, and if you're a Chad, you run straight in always. You just start shooting at people.
Yeah, so I'll end up going and grabbing some stuff as much as I can or whatever, and then I headed back into where the battle and stuff is taking place, and it works out really good because it allows me to kind of ease into that battle a little bit versus just going in and there's like 10 people and going, all right, hope I'm good with a pistol today, or getting shot from behind while I'm shooting a guy in front of me, that type of shit. So I'd much rather not do that, because strategery has to take place a little bit. A little bit. We played a little bit too last night of the multiplayer. And just because a couple of the people I were playing with were just trying to get their level up for some of the guns, because they're trying to go for gold for the guns. And I'm just like, I'm just going to have fun, enjoy it. And so I got my ass handed to me. I think I died 53 times on one map. And it was, but now I had 15 kills. But keep in mind that it's based on, that was a confirmed kill win. So I think that was, no, that was it was one of the ones where you had like the flags and you had to hold the points or whatever. So we were holding the points fine, but it was literally, you would spawn in and die. So you got lucky if you got kills in, right? But if you're pretty good, you were able to figure out exactly where those people were at. But you had like one person that had like 52 kills, and then everybody else below that was like 30s, 20s or whatever, and we won. So I was like, I didn't hold us back, I had some kills and I confirmed it quite a bit before I was dying. But that was fun. And then early in the week, we decided to play a game of pick the worst weapon we possibly can and run through the co-op and see if we can make this happen. And we would go through a section of the co-op that was kind of difficult to do on just regular weapons. So we picked bolt action, no sights. We could have a shotgun, some type of short shotgun or whatever. And so everybody kind of picked their thing, but everything was based on mine because they play the multiplayer all the time. So because of that, they've unlocked all these optics and all that shit. And I was like, no, everything's going to be based on whatever my level is. So all my shit started at level 1. So it was all base. And then went on to level 2 and I was like, all right, guys, you get 1 optic and 1 perk, the very first. Whatever your first perk is, that's what you get. And so we went through and played. That was hilarious. But then we got to one mission that we all were sitting there with bolt action and we could not. You had to kill two trucks. None of us could kill the trucks because we were sitting there with bolt action trying to shoot trucks. And it's like, boom, 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 like that.
Just gotta get closer with the shotgun.
Well, the problem is you couldn't. You're in a helicopter.
Well, shit.
For that mission, you're in a helicopter. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? And if you get down too low, they shoot you. You're dead. So it's like, oh my god, what is going on? And so you only got 3 people shooting because one's flying the helicopter. Yeah, it was quite hilarious to play through that way. We did that. I've played some Animal Crossing.
The tires.
Right?
Yeah.
Try as best you can. Actually, to be fair, I'm not even sure Call of Duty allows that to happen. I feel like that's one of those games.
We have door opening technology. We better have tire flattening technology.
But to be
or
fair,
was it door closing? Sorry, door closing.
But to be fair, that belongs to Ubisoft. So
they
might
need
have
to
the
share
tire
their
rental.
car technology. God.
You can flatten tires in GTA and in Saints Row. Those are older games than Call of Duty, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, damn it, Call of Duty, you need to get on your tire physics show.
There you go. And then I did play some Animal Crossing. Didn't do much on it, just casual stuff. Bought some turnips, sold some turnips. I am currently doing the tree thing that I talked about last week, where I will plant a tree and then figure out if that tree is fertile tree or not, and then labeling it all on a calendar. So, it goes back to the obsession thing. Yay.
Yeah.
And then of course played some Sea of Thieves Friday and Saturday. We actually for the stream team that I'm part of on Mixer called MC2, it was a bunch of us from that, and one was a complete noob, had played the game one time during that free weekend that they had for your friends and family or whatever. So it was fun to have her go through, and we were checking out the new emissary system and the mathematics behind it on how quick you can actually level up. She went from a level 1 on 2 of the items and was able to get, I think when we got done in 6 hours, she was at a 20.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fast though, because and then one person said they were able to do it in 3.5 hours on Reaper. We're able to get to a 25, but Reaper to me is different because that's brand new, and then they've nerfed it since then. Right. They have changed that up a little bit. So, but that's what I had.
I did some Animal Crossing. We did some Animal Crossing. Chicken and I both. We're working on our new grand plan, I guess. So I made all the roads out of weeds, and all of our villagers were like, "What's this?" So I had to pull all those back up and make our roads out of flowers instead, so they weren't all like, "Me, this is ugly. Look at these weeds." Like, shut up. That's gonna be a road. I have plans here. Go back to your house that I provided for you. But we're working on that. So we've got little flower strips everywhere, and now we're stuck because Chicken's the one handling moving all of the houses for our new neighborhood area, but we don't have the pattern for the fence that we want, and so we're waiting for it to show up in the Nook kiosk thing. But you only get 2 fences every day, and it changes them at random, and the fence that we need hasn't come up yet.
Which one are you looking for? I'll look online.
The just wooden fence, I think.
Yeah, the generic wooden fence, the little picket fence.
It's the
thing.
basic,
like a picket, regular picket fence, not the weird shaped picket one, but just a regular picket.
Just the regular
one that the
picket
Nook
fence.
gives you when you do your tutorial for that. And he's like, here's some fences. Nice job.
Yeah.
If it pops up on my mind, I'll let you know. Just one of you can come over and pick up the thing.
Oh, I'm so irritated.
Well, we'll get back to it. We have all the time in the world these days.
Yeah, well, that's not true, but we did that, and then me and Chicken and Baka, along with Red and my sister, we all played some Left 4 Dead the other night. 'Cause she's never played it with mods on, so that was a whole new experience for all of us because we were all messing with our mods and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, let me go turn this one on, let me turn that one off. There's like a couple of things that conflicted all the way together and just got kicked out of the game. That's frustrating.
Yeah. Too many mods were active.
Well,
Unfortunately.
I think the one that I had the problem with is the same one that Baka had a previous problem with, and I just didn't realize it was the same one. It was one that turns the spitter into the alien.
Yeah, that was. I had that problem too.
Yeah. So that one doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't think I had any other issues aside from that one. And the cat guy
that
not
one
showing up.
Do people do themes of those? So like you could go, I would like we talked last week about Disney themes. So like you could do like a Disney instead of just having Mickey Mouse as the one character or whatever, but it would be like,
Well, I mean, it's all
here's a Disney one.
Yeah,
And then
like,
that's
you
what
have
I'm
to
asking.
Yeah, like Baka's got that hamburger or the fast food set where it's like all of the different infected or different
The
kinds
jockey
of fast food
is a
monsters.
hot dog.
Yeah.
The hunter is a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Red's Hunter fucking kills me, and I don't know why I die laughing every time he just starts. Like, I'm not sure why it's so funny to me, but his Hunter, whenever it leaps, it yells out Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf as it's jumping, and he always sings it too. So I always hear whenever I hear the Hunter, it's just bound to hear him say Shia LaBeouf. It's like, what? Where is he? Oh, there he is.
The Goofy as the smoker one is insane because you can hear him from a distance, and they put a lot of voice lines in. And so, like, somewhere off in the distance, you hear, gosh, and you're like, oh no, he's here! And his tongue is a bright rainbow. So, like, when it shoots out at you, it's almost just, like, jarring because everything in Left 4 Dead is so dark and grainy because it's a gritty, post-apocalyptic shooter. And this, like, bright rainbow rope is just coming at you out of nowhere. Oh, man. It was a lot of fun. I also got the rainbow blood mod. So when you shoot people, it just looks like bright splatter paint everywhere. It's great. It's so pretty.
Looks like Splatoon.
So like it stays on the ground and stuff.
Yeah,
so like
like
you just
for
have
as
the
long
red.
as your regular blood splatter would. So yeah, it's like on the walls and stuff. Yeah.
That's
It'd be great mapping. Where'd Grif go? There she is.
that blood splatter.
The Donald Duck one, he starts randomly singing in Donald Duck's voice.
Yeah, it's the
Which one
witch
is he?
that one
The witch,
is, isn't it?
yeah.
The witch. Oh.
And when you piss her off and starts attacking, it starts playing the Macho Duck disco song.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
That's great.
The Johnny Bravo is the tank is also a good one.
John Cena is the only tank in the world. So
I
fucking
know.
theme song
I don't
plays.
know the Mickey Mouse one.
I like
is pretty
He-Man.
fun.
I don't like the John Cena one, but
I'm sorry.
it's
You hear the glass shatter real quick, and you're like, "Oh no!" And then it starts playing, and you just see a fucking giant rock flying over, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's here!"
Well, see, in mine, I still have the Christmas mod turned on for the tank rocks, so he's throwing like wrapped presents.
And stuff falls out of them when they hit.
Yeah.
Like you just see presents on the ground.
The Mickey Mouse one, it plays the Mickey Mouse song when he comes out, and instead of throwing rocks, he throws sacks of cash.
Nice.
Sacks of money.
My sister had one that turned her survivors into cats, and then she used the cat gun, so she's a cat carrying a cat with a chicken
Carrying
grenade.
cat.
Yeah, so. But that was a lot of fun, though. We're definitely gonna play that again at some point, and hopefully the near future, because she only got to play 2 maps, so we'll have to let her try out some more stuff. She did shoot us a lot, though, but there was one that Chicken came out with the most friendly fires, so
Oh,
I would
yeah.
just like to point out, it's no longer me.
so it's not
Yeah, because
completely
you
a
got your
family trait.
replacement.
It's fun, though. That's what I did this week.
I kind of want to play it again now.
Well,
I
I
do,
mean,
definitely.
She wants to play again, so we're gonna set up another time to play. She's just been really busy with her work, so
Oh.
we'll
What about
see.
you, Baka? What have you played?
Well, other than Left 4 Dead, I've played some WoW. They did some raids here and there, and then I've been finishing up trying to get everything organized in the room. I've cleaned up the PlayStation systems, the cords, I got a couple of stackable tote things, so I can put the extra systems in there with their cords and keep them organized. So whenever I want to play whatever system, just pull it all out, hook it up.
That's nice.
That's cool.
Yay,
Need to get the
organization.
360. They need to get the 360 and original Xbox out. But they're up in the attic, and I don't feel like going up there. It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. You gotta wait for the fall months and whatnot to go up there.
What about you, Chicken?
That's funny.
What have you been doing?
I've played WoW. I played Left 4 Dead. I played Risk of Rain this week. Yeah. I didn't play Daisy. I played Daisy last week. Okay. The one thing that you guys forgot that we played
Yeah.
was Munchkin this week.
Oh yeah, we did play that. I won twice.
Griff won twice. First of all, I cheated to help her win because I knew I wasn't gonna win early. So I was like, okay. So I kept cheating because some cards are for
Hey,
female only, and
everybody
I
was
kept getting them,
cheating.
and I
I
was like,
think.
oh
Was it
yeah,
just
everybody was
you?
definitely cheating. No, but I was cheating in Griff's favor, and eventually I played the last card that helped her win,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, here we go. So that one, the second game, Newbie got a little upset Newbie was upset from the first game because he bursted out into the lead, and then we had to stop him.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that
that's
okay, with games like that, if you immediately run out in the front, everybody is going to do everything they can to trip you. You cannot get mad at that. And if you do get mad at it, you're playing the game wrong.
But
If you're not trying to do it, you're playing the game wrong.
yeah, so we got him good in that one. And then in the second one, he was trying to mess with everybody. And I was gonna win this one. I was gonna win this one, but Griff cheated and gave a card to Red.
I gave him a card I didn't understand, so I
And
didn't even
he
know
played
I
it.
was...
And he played it, and then I had a card that stopped him from playing all cards. And then he cheated and gave it to Baka, and then Baka played the same fucking card on me. And first of all, my dumbass was like, "Let me see your card, Red. Let me see where you put it, motherfucker. Goes back to your hand. Where is it?" But no, I just had to be a fucking dumbass and pulled my cards out, and I lost. And it went to Griff's turn, and everybody used everything on me, and we couldn't stop her, and she won. She won 2 games. She
Yeah,
won
the first one
both
was an
games.
accident. I didn't think I'd be winning because I was in the back for so long. The second one, I premeditated that win. I knew that was coming.
The second game, Red also killed me.
Yeah, he
Yes,
actually legit
Red
killed
did
Bun's
kill you.
character. So
Yeah, he was dead on that round.
if you're gonna play card games in this group, you gotta understand that it's cutthroat. So,
Oh yeah, she's my wife. That still doesn't give her. I've backstabbed her myself to
he
win a
caused me to
game.
lose before.
Yeah, but you cheated to help her win the first game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
I
was
only get
payback
to
for
pick
when
and
he
choose.
cheated to specifically make me lose in a previous game.
Hey, it depends on how I feel during the game and what I'm gonna do. And because
Of
cheating
who else
is
might be
allowed-
winning.
Exactly. Do I really?
Yeah,
want,
I couldn't handle playing cards. Yeah, I can't stand it when people cheat at cards. That drives me insane.
It's
of any
only in
kind.
Munchkin
Well,
because in
that's-
Munchkin that's part of the
Yes.
rules is you can cheat as long as you don't get caught.
Yes,
So
it's an actual rule.
yeah.
How do you
So-
do that digitally?
You pass
because
cards
most
without
of the
people
time-
noticing while they're
Yeah.
looking at something else.
Yep. So you can see where their hands are, so you can kind of see where their eyes are, and you
Yeah.
just basically, I would just take a card and slide it over and toss it into her hand, and then it would pop up in her hand.
Yeah.
I had it a couple
Okay.
of times too. Like a random card would pop up in my hand and be like, "Oh,
Yeah, I passed a
Where'd
couple
this
of
come
cards
from?
to you and Baka and Red. Like we were.
But if
just-
someone calls you out for it, you have to admit it,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
and then you
I got
lose
you.
your turn
Yeah.
because you're cheating.
But that's if you get
But you
caught.
got caught. If you get caught,
You
What
just
happens to the
wait until
card?
the other people are arguing.
the card gets discarded.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody loses it. It's one of those things where you do not want to get caught.
But can
cheating,
you
but definitely
technically,
want to cheat.
technically you can't? Can you technically cheat and just give the wrong card back to the discard?
You
Maybe.
can, but I mean,
It
I mean,
really
because
depends.
cheating's allowed. That's the
It
way
depends
I
on
would
how
look at
closely
it, you know?
everybody's paying attention. So.
yeah, because if you do it once or twice, then everyone's gonna be like, okay, you're just gonna give away your cards. Because giving away your cards is also part of the game too. You have to end your turn with less than 5 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you end your turn with 5 cards, and then it goes to the next person, and suddenly you've got 4 cards, you cheated and gave one of your cards away. Where's
Right.
your other card? You didn't play anything, motherfucker. Where'd you put it? So, I think I left it over here on the table. It's like, motherfucker, caught your ass.
Well, but then the flip side of that is you end your turn with 5 cards, and then before the next turn is over, you have 6, and the person that was ending their turn did not give it to you. You have no idea where that came from, so, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, motherfucker, you better give up that card you got.
Yeah, the tabletop it makes that a bit harder because in real life you can just kind of pull all your cards into like a stack and then hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you
people
can
can
throw
ask
cards
how many
under
cards
tables
you
and
have.
whatnot. Although it does
Yeah.
sometimes make it more difficult in real life because if you don't, like, if you can't communicate with the person across the table that I'm going to throw this at you under the table, sometimes it just lays on the floor because they didn't know.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Munchkin is such a fun game. If you're all good with just it's friendly competition and it's not being vindictive or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Oh, I also played the Capcom beat 'em up.
Oh yeah, you and Chicken played
yeah.
that.
We tried to
Well,
play that.
Well, I figured out how to get it to work now, so we can play that actually now. But yeah, it's a really weird setup for the remote play. But I played around with some of the fighters on that. I beat one of them, the Captain Commando.
You guys want to talk
And
about
there's
some
another one that I never played before on there that actually has RPG elements into it. So Chicken might like it. As you go through, you get money, and at the end of each level, you can pick new fight or combos or whatever to use to help you through the game.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, nice. All right, let's get to some of this news. It's not a whole bunch of stuff.
There's like three topics, and that's it.
Then pick the one that you want to start with.
We'll just go ahead and get the COVID business out of the way. Two more events have been canceled, which not surprising. Here we are, another week, another show canceled. This time it was 2. The Paris Games Week is canceled due to the coronavirus, and there will be none this year. It will not take place this year at all, so you'll have to wait till at least next year for it to.
It was really late in the season anyway. Like
Yeah.
Paris Games Week is normally end of October. Like what is this one? 23rd through 27th, and then where Tokyo is to me is closer to what's currently going on right now. And Japan's being very, very cautious about everything that's going on, and their numbers look pretty decent. So when it comes to COVID-19, so I get them not wanting anybody there and fucking up their environment that they've got going on right now. The Paris one, I think with the state of Europe right now, it makes a lot of sense that they're currently doing theirs the way that they are. Where I'm interested to see, because I've already made the decision. If PAX West is to happen in Seattle, I'm not going this year. I'm going to wait until San Antonio to do South probably. But I am still going to try to go to EGLX just to get one in this year, which is in October. So I'm interested to see if that one still takes place. And since it's really, really small, where it's like, normally 40,000 people versus 100,000 people.
Yeah, but I'd still say that might be risky as the event, as the people who put the event on. You don't want to be responsible
When you
for
said
another
small,
spike.
I was expecting a few thousand to maybe 10. I was like, okay, that's kind of small. You said 30 to 40. That's a lot.
Well,
of
not
people
to mention
traveling
But that's over
to
at-
different areas.
That's over an entire weekend too.
That's over an entire weekend
not
that you have to
everything.
travel to, as well as a lot of other people. So you've got a lot of stuff coming in from transit too. So
Right, but we also we can't tell the future. We don't know how October is going to happen. So I think that the main thing that one's so small that I think where you're dealing with Paris, you're dealing with Tokyo, you're dealing with things like that where they have to plan so far in advance.
I just wouldn't let the size of the con be my deciding factor. This is small. It's probably fine. It's only 30,000 people.
Well, it also depends when the second wave starts picking up, because if it starts, like, cases start climbing towards the end of September,
you'll start seeing more people canceling at that point, that's what you keep an eye on. Like right now, I'll buy the tickets for my plane because they can be canceled. So and right now to fly to Toronto and back is 400 bucks,
That's not
which that's not bad at all. Like that's normally, I mean, that's 2 flights to Orlando, but it's normally, I think last year when I looked at flights to Toronto was $1,000. So I flew into Buffalo instead, and it was cheaper to rent a car and drive up than it was to do that. So, but yeah, so I think it's probably going to end up being canceled, but I think with these, like Canada's not being hit as hard as the US is and other countries are. So, and I think that they're going to be very cautious about how they open things up, but I think it's going to be the same way. You're going to have a lot of conventions and stuff that are canceled. And we still don't know how sporting season's going to happen and all that stuff. And we also don't know how it's going to react after the summer either.
Yeah. I have no hopes for any gatherings this year at all. Like, I could see the sports coming back with no crowds. And if a single player on any team is identified as positive, you can guarantee the season's going to be over too, because those people have to be really close to each other.
Ew,
and if one
they
guy
get a lot of spit and stuff shared. Ew.
Yeah, like
I mean, that's
in
just
South
gross
Korea,
anyway, but
What's going to be interesting is if they end up doing virtual tickets. So
that
because
would
if
be
you
really neat.
but here's the thing: is you got right now you got ESPN. It's technically free to watch. Let's like in our case, we have a large college football team that's here. So right now it's free to watch on ESPN, CBS, all these other stuff, right?
well, depending
Well,
on
if you don't have people, but if you don't have, well, CBS is free as long as you have a CBS affiliate, you can still watch. So, but I think that what's going to be interesting to see is if they end up going, all right, well, we don't have people in our stands. We still need the money for revenue to be able to pay the coaching staff, everything else that goes along with that, to be able to have this and travel and all that goes along with it. So let's do a virtual ticket, and can they cancel the contracts at that particular point, or they still have to stick with the contracts, and then they want more money off of the revenue from the ads. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this ends up working.
Revenue. And I would like it if they would sell virtual tickets per team too. Like if you want all highlights and you want your specific team's show, then you could pay to support your team. Good. Then you just have the ticket sales go to the team.
Well, and I think that would work out good too, because I think, like in your case, you're a Detroit Lions fan. NFL is already thinking about the fact that they're going to have an entire season with no fans there at all, which, I mean, Detroit's used to, not winning, so now they could just be used to no fans.
We're a small fan base, but we're still here.
But they could, but this way, like you said, you would be able to, instead of giving money to the NFL to be able to see the highlights or whatever it was on there, you would actually be able to give money to the team to make sure that the helping out in some way, because it's gonna, I mean, economically it's gonna hurt all.
Living in this state, it is very hard to watch my locally air or my team's games when they're local aired. Like I gotta go find them elsewhere. Or pay for the whole NFL package, which I don't. I'll only watch one team. I don't need the whole fucking package.
Yep.
all right, we're getting really sidetracked.
Yeah.
Which you might end up having to do. That might end up how these end up progressing too. These events.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So-
Well, Microsoft's doing
That
theirs
was-
like over the whole summer reveals, although this week's was not exactly what they had said it was going to be. So we'll have to see if the next one's any better.
Yeah, this one was a bit of a bust.
Well, because
they
they had
talked
said that it was going to be
gameplay,
gameplay.
and there was no gameplay.
Well, I think.
Like, I mean, there was almost no gameplay in any of them.
I think what is the name of that one that I watched and went, this is really generic. What is that?
Bright Memory.
The Memory
Infinite.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bright Memory Infinite. That looked like it was. I mean, it was first person, and it looked like it could be gameplay highlights. So that one, sure.
Yeah, I think both. I think that one is for sure.
That one.
I mean,
and
there is some
Ascent had
gameplay.
a little bit in it.
There's some gameplay of all of these games inside of the video. It's just very little, and it
not
really
all of them.
doesn't.
Scorn didn't have anything. Like I said, when I watched that one, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this. What is this about?
There was definitely no gameplay in that one.
No, that was all
Unless
just
the-
stylistic trailer.
Unless the end where I don't know. Yeah, it's probably nothing. But honestly, none of that shows off the Xbox One Series X, or is it just Xbox Series X?
They were just shiny trailers. It didn't.
Xbox Series X.
Okay. Yeah, it really didn't show off anything that's like, holy shit, look at the fucking graphics on this thing.
Or
It's
how does
just
this
more
stand
look
up?
at
Like,
these-
what can I compare to the PlayStation 5 from what we've seen from
Yeah.
that and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't think you're going to get a lot of comparison that's there right now, and I think it's one of the things we talked about before the show started is the fact that with an Xbox 360, you were able to see with the original, like it was Call of Duty or Call of Duty 2 that was originally on the Xbox 360, like one of the first launch releases, and then you saw the final Call of Duty before the 360 was done. The graphical difference was fantastic, and with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, you haven't got that much of a graphical difference. You just
Yeah.
haven't. I mean, because there's not think of how great The Last of Us looked on a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And yes, it did upgrade a little bit on PlayStation 4, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't, graphically, they look about the same.
I completely agree. And that's kind of what it's going to be hard to sell the new console. It's like, I mean, everything that you have on it, which is why I like that they're kind of almost making it optional, where it's like, yeah, you can upgrade your console, but everything is going to be on PC and Xbox One X or whatever too. So you get to have your options for a little while, and as they can really push this new console, then they can start making games specifically designed with all this technology in
Yeah.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
the first couple of years are just going to be more of this.
I'm still mad about the fact that I was looking at that one, what is it? The Ascent. And it looks so good at the beginning of that trailer, and then all of a sudden it goes to a top-down shooter, and I was like, no! Why? Why? They do that. Things do that shit to me all the time. I'm like, no.
Oh yes, like
What's
sometimes
wrong,
they'll
wrong
show
with
you some,
top-down shooter?
just not his forte.
Same. It's one of those things where it's like that's a style of gameplay that I just for some reason cannot get into, and I think it's because I do a lot of my gaming as an immersive gameplay, and third person, first person is where I can do that, but top down doesn't really do as much for me. I think the only one that I didn't really struggle with that in is something like Divinity, but that's because it's such a heavy RPG. It's not a shooter. It's more
Super
story
slow.
driven. So
Yeah, I liked Gauntlet and stuff like that when I was growing up as a kid, and I enjoyed that, and the fact that it is those tile are designed to basically mob kill, right? You got a mob that comes in, you got to kill all of them at one time and move from point A to point B.
Smash
But
TV.
it's and so, but in this particular case, it's just like if you give me that storyline and everything else, I can engage and involve myself into what that world that you've created, but then it just takes me completely out the minute that it goes to top down. I'm just like, nope, not in that particular case. So, but I don't know. Like the Bright Memory Infinite is something that looks like I've got to see more material on it. But I don't disagree with Griff. Griff thought it looked very generic.
it does.
I don't disagree with that. I want to know more about it. But it is something that, I mean, I loved Black, which was on the original Xbox. I thought it was a fantastic shooter. And it is, I mean, it was literally just to kill and blow shit up. And I'm cool with that. Would I pay $60 for this right now? No. But I do want to see more of it in order to make that determination. So we'll see, I guess, this summer if they release anything else. Scarlet Nexus looks weird as fuck.
No, it doesn't
like-
look weird to me. It looks like your standard action RPG.
Killer Flowers?
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
pretty
whenever
par
I
for the
see
course
anything,
from a Japan RPG, you know.
yeah, whenever I see anything from Bandai Namco, I'm always like, okay, so this is a video game anime.
Yes.
It's pretty much
100%.
Yes.
exactly what it's going to be
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I love like graphically. I think it looks beautiful. Griff was saying, Scorn looks just. It's all just stylistic. They didn't really give it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a puzzle shooter, so we'll see. But
I mean, it's based
well,
on
excuse me,
Maybe
there's
they'll show
from-
puzzles
something
and
more.
shooting, so I guess that could be even Portal.
Well, and
you
see,
know,
I'm
for all we
wondering
know.
how this is gonna be because it's based. The whole game is apparently based around art from H.R. Geiger. So I'm wondering like how much of that, how much of it's gonna be like walk through this wonderful scenery because look how pretty it is. Okay, now plug this in so you can consider this a puzzle. All right, next piece. Here's the set piece that we built you.
Well, but it could be similar to like a scary version of Myst. That's the only way I can think of
I
explaining
could
it.
see that.
So you're moving. Yes, you're looking at everything. It's gorgeous, beautiful, but you actually have legitimate puzzles that are there. I'm interested to see what the shooting part of that is. Like, there is some creepy vibe to it, but it's like,
I think it's gonna be more puzzles than shooting. I bet.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
would
shooting is part of the
definitely see that.
puzzles. I think the shooting's part of the puzzles. I really
Yeah,
do.
I
I
could
think it's
definitely
like
see that.
Portal, right? Where you have to, shoot a portal to here, shoot a portal there, and figure out how to get from point A to point B type thing.
Yeah.
Second Extinction.
Turok
No Pants
Left
was
4
telling me
Dead.
about this one. Yeah, I'll try it out. It does interest me in the fact because I like Left 4 Dead. I do that style of game is fun, but based on what Chicken was telling me beforehand, people are saying there's not a whole lot to it other than here's the level, have fun, done. Okay, now you've played the game. Have a good day.
It's like,
it
seems like it's going to be one of those cheap, repetitive kind of games where you could jump in with 3 friends, kill dinosaurs for a whole level, go out and get money, change your loadout, buy upgrades, go back into a harder difficulty, different map, do it again, upgrade your loadout. Seems like that's going to be your cycle.
Yep. Then you got the game that we've all been talking about in the past when they actually revealed it, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
I cannot wait for that one.
I'm looking forward to
that-
that one too.
I think that was the better of the bunch that was done. Valhalla was done too, but Valhalla was just nobody was
Another
interested in that after we
cinematic.
talked about last week. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it was still cinematic. They were like, "This is gameplay." Ubisoft labeled it to them and sent it to them. It was gameplay. This is not gameplay.
Yeah, it says Assassin's Creed Valhalla first look gameplay trailer. No, that's not what that is. That is just a cinematic. You showed nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
that's part of where the flack really came in, was that one's even labeled gameplay trailer and there's like no gameplay in it. I mean, unless you want to consider, like, there was 2 times where he did an execution thing, and I guess sometimes it takes the camera and shows you stylistically how the executions are, so I guess that's the gameplay. But that was
All
really
I have
not
to say
enough
is
to
how-
call it a gameplay trailer.
How did this pass, though? Like, I mean, you would think that the guy in charge of the Xbox show would be like, this isn't gameplay, Ubisoft. We can't label this as gameplay. We're going
I
to
feel
label
like-
it as a trailer 2, but we're not labeling it gameplay.
I feel like it was given them to them on Tuesday, and then they didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like, day before the reveal, that was it. Oh, well, there we got what we got. I'm sorry.
I would have changed if I was that guy, I would have changed the word in there.
Yeah, I would've
Yeah.
changed a little
Or actually, I
word.
would have removed 1 word or 2 words. Look gameplay or first trailer or whatever. Yeah. Get rid of look and gameplay, and then you have first trailer
First trailer.
or second trailer.
Yeah, it would be second, because the first one was the really pretty cinematic one that we've already seen. And there's a
Yeah.
couple, like, I realize now there's a couple of trailers that that it's not in that list because they had already done articles on them, and there's one called Call of the Sea. That's an Oak game. He's gonna play that
Yep,
one.
hands down. Yep. He saw it and knew immediately, didn't he?
Well, I mean, it's,
Actually, it
it's
was-
pretty, and it's a puzzle solve, like a walking simulator puzzle solver, which I also know is
Yep.
kind of in your wheelhouse, so
Yep.
I figured aesthetically it looks like something you would play. It has to do with a mysterious island, and it is a puzzle thing. It is very pretty.
I saw the video on it. I think it looks good. I'd definitely be playing it. The art style on it to me is just gorgeous. So
Yeah, and then Chorus is another one that's getting a lot of attention. It's a space flight simulator shooter deal. Like, it's a game, it's got a storyline and everything to it, but a lot of your combat's going to be space flight, which I think might be difficult for me. I'm not good at that, but it seems interesting.
You're not good at.
it would be interesting to see what
Yeah.
the default for that will be, if they'll actually set it up like an actual plane to where what we would call in the gaming world is a reverse setup, to where you actually pull backwards to go up
Well,
and
the
down to go
inverted
forward.
controls, yeah.
Yeah. So
They're actual flight controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, an actual flight. Like, is that going to be the default, or is it going to be to where you have to set it to that because everybody's kind of gone to a standard? You know what I mean?
Or they actually stick to their realisticness and they make it so that you can't change it, and it is only actual flight controls.
I think people should have a choice on that. I think the gamers should have a choice on that one or not.
Hey man, you want to fly and play?
Well, I
or
mean, it
pretend
means
to fly
that if
and
it's
play, and you gotta
already
pretend to fly
default
the plane the
inverted
right
and you
way.
set it to inverted, it's back to normal. So
Yeah, there you go.
Can you invert the inverted?
yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Default inverted, default. No, I got it. That's good. I've seen games that do the other direction too, the left and the right, and I've never understood that. I was like, are you doing that to just fuck with people? Like, why would you have that as an option?
To fuck with people.
Like, I guess.
Oh, that one looks kind of neat.
Yep.
I hate that it wasn't in, like, I hate they didn't make an actual comprehensive list. There's things like Dirt 5, which is more dirt. The medium, which
Yakuza
I
like a
didn't
dragon.
use. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Dirt.
okay. Dirt is a racing game, so it's kind of like
I just love the fact that you could have like this whole like setup for this and just be like, and now introducing Dirt 5 times more of the dirt. You know, like it's
Dirt
just
5,
like
more dirt.
I just what are you gonna say about it? It's more
Sunday,
of the same.
Sunday.
I don't know.
That's awesome. It's just more dirt. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
It's a very dirty game. It's very dirty. There isn't, but I mean, it just kind of lackluster. They know they lacklustered on it. They were like, oh yeah, oh by the way, we did bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean,
That was
Microsoft was
no
like, we set
shit.
the expectations inappropriately, so
My bad.
it's like, don't
My
say
bad,
this
don't
is gonna be a
worry.
gameplay event when like only half of them have any sort of gameplay.
Right? Like, and I'm just wondering if it was like the marketing team was like, all right, guys, we're going to do some gameplay. We're going to do all this stuff or whatever. And then they're like, put all the stuff together and send it out. And the marketing team's like, you couldn't have told us. Or if it was like, we got all this stuff together. And then the marketing team's like, all right, is there gameplay? And we're going, yeah, there's some gameplay. It's on there. All right, that's what we're going to promote. You know, like, is it backwards? Like, how did they do that? And it's like miscommunication, guys, between the people that were putting all the reels together and the marketing team. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have
I mean,
just
it's
been
not like it
like
was all
showing off
bad.
more trailers
Yeah.
and revealing games. Like, that would have been much better.
Well, and that's what one of the people said is like you would have had a very different reaction to this reveal, like these trailers and everything, if we had not set the expectation to a certain thing. And it's true.
Right.
People wouldn't have gone into it waiting to see all of the cool gameplay. They would have just been waiting to see the cool trailers. So
exactly.
people wouldn't have been upset.
I'm interested to see though how you convince people, since you're gonna have 2 years of the same exact games. How do you convince people that already have an Xbox One to buy an Xbox Series X?
See, that's what I've been saying the whole time.
I don't think that's important. For the first couple of years, that's not going to be important to them. They want to make sure that the people that are going to buy a new one are going to buy it, right? They're going to buy it regardless.
Well, but I think you're gonna have those people that are on the other side of it, which is like, yes, you're gonna have those people that are gonna be every time a new system comes out, I'm gonna buy it, right? But then you're gonna have those people that are kind of in between, and it's like, wait, I already have an Xbox One X.
Or I
that's
have a
4K.
PlayStation 4, and I'm debating between PlayStation 5 or the Xbox, whatever.
Well, but we already talked about that before, about the fact that you're not going to get a whole lot of people jump ship one way or the other. We did between the 360 and the PlayStation 4.
But I mean, are you not even going to try to convince those people?
Well, I think you can.
The way they're going to is they gave themselves a 2-year grace period. Like the games on the Xbox One X are going to stay looking the same. And the lifespan of the Xbox One X, you're going to start seeing the deviation from it. Like, because Xbox is going to start looking older. That's what you do a lot of times
at the end of every generation. Because you had games like we talked about already,
they
The Last of Us, that was
yeah,
right
but they
at the end
don't
of
release
life.
them. They don't release.
No, but now you
everything
just
for 2
don't have to
years.
be like, okay, this is going to be a remaster. It's like, this is the version for this. You just
But I think the
Exactly.
difference
It's
we have
going to
between
start looking, it's going to start looking better, and people will start seeing that this is like, if you want a better console, this is it, or you can just upgrade your PC. You will not have the same experience on PC and the Xbox Series X as you do on the Xbox One.
Well, but
And
I
people will see
agree.
that.
But my point is if they're putting this on sale in November, why do I want to buy this in November? So, and I think that's their job as marketing people to determine how they're not going to go, guys, we got this coming out in November, don't buy it. They're not going to do that. They're going to try to promote their product and why you should buy it. So what is their sales pitch? So do you put an Xbox, same game on an Xbox One X and one on a Series X and show the people the difference?
But there's not going to be that much of a difference. That's the problem, is that there's not going to be that much of a difference at the beginning. That's why they gave themselves a 2-year grace period. Is because, they're going to sell the amount of consoles they're going to sell already. It's kind of like the people who are waiting for The Last of Us. The people who want it already bought it. Same thing with the Xbox. The people that want it are going to have already bought it. They got their money put away. They've got it. Any trickle effect that they get that they can convince is perfectly fine. What they want is their Game Pass to sell on everything. That's it. The Game Pass on the PC, the Game Pass on the Xbox One, and the Game Pass on the Xbox Series X.
I wonder if those are going to share
as long
games.
As they keep...
Because I know right now the
absolutely.
PC and the Xbox One have similar libraries, but each of them have a couple of differences. And I'm just wondering are they all going to be the same?
There might be... wait, hold on. You actually have a good point here. It could be, this might be part of the selling point, is the fact that if you have an Xbox One X, you have the version of the Game Pass for it. You have the PC version that's available as well, but the Xbox One X could be just the PC version. So it's games you can't get, because all the stuff that's available on the Xbox One X that is first party, is available for PC, but it's the third party that's not, right? So now you just
add a nice hook to be able to draw people up into it.
Right. So now you turn around and you go, okay, here's the Series X. You're going to only be able to play this as well as, as good as you can on as close to a PC as possible on the Series X. So that's why we don't have it available to you on the Xbox One X. But it also means that, either that or you're selling, I don't know how they're going to do that.
I mean,
there's no way you put a third tier in there. There's no way.
No. But that seems pretty reasonable because, one, it's doing what I already thought was kind of breaking the PC away from the Xbox One X and putting the Series X up in the PC echelon of games. So It's going to help draw people up. But again, you don't have this urgency to buy it either. You could kind of just wait and see. So the next couple of years, you get to see how it gets better, and then you can commit to buying it later. Microsoft is in it for the long game. I'm telling you now, they're done with the short cons. They're playing the long game now. They're like, consoles out, sell it as the years go on. That's the important part.
And what that does too is that pushes longevity, because if they already know that any game I buy for the Xbox Series X or buy for the Xbox One X is going to work one or the other, right? Now you can turn around and go, all right, here's my son that was 10 when I bought this one. He's begging me to play my Xbox One X. I just pass it down to him. And my Game Pass works for both, and I'm being able to play games on both of these both consoles, that I can play one on one and I can play one on the other. And then he's got those available to him too, or she's, in my case, daughters. So it's just kind of that way they have that available to them. That might be what they end up doing.
Also, with the way that it's labeled, because it's Xbox Series X, they're not going to push everybody to buy this series. Couple of years, they might come out with the new upgraded version, in which people who haven't convinced are like, okay, this one's a big enough upgrade for me to commit, because the Series X was good and it showed off some good stuff, but I waited and it's going to pay off, and I'm going to get the improved Xbox Series X 1, 2, or whatever the fuck they're
without all the bugs and
S.
Yeah.
It's always an S, right? You have the thing and then you have an
Series
S.
XS. Whatever.
XS.
But yeah, they'll do that so they can kind of create a artificial longevity of the console, so they can keep selling them as they go on. They want steady sales. They don't want boom and then they just go down. It's like, no. We want boom and steady so we can keep.
Well, and to be fair, think about how Samsung, iPhone, all of these things do with the phone in your hand. If all the people that show up in stupid lines to go pick up whatever the newest phone is, but every year you've got a new phone that's coming out, and it's an in-between that's a lot of times it's on there, right? So iPhone, for example, will have the X, and then they'll have the XS and XR that come out, and then the next year you'll get whatever the 11, right? So that type of thing. So you could end up doing that with consoles, and they're cheaper than a phone. Brand new, they're cheaper than a phone.
Yep.
Now you end up with a plan.
Is playing a different game here with the consoles and whatnot, because they're not. In my opinion, the consoles are not their
I'd
their
say-
big ship anymore.
Realistically, too, like, I know this is completely coincidental, but that might really pay off for them this year, considering how many people are out of work and everything right now, so some people won't have that pocket money in November, but they can still play those new games because they're making everything backwards compatible. Or
Exactly.
accessible across all of them, which seemed like it was going to be weird to start with, but, like, considering the current circumstances, that might really work to their benefit.
Especially since we don't know how
definitely
long
will.
this is going to last either.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
Like, is it going to last for a year, 16 months, or 18 months waiting on a vaccine? Or is it going to be one of those things to where, you know, this is, you know, we're adjusting to a new normal, but because of the social distance and everything else that we practices that we're trying to put into place, it doesn't quite last. It doesn't affect us as
know,
much.
if people
let's put it that
would
way.
I don't
listen
think
to
I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to go back to not looking at social distance when I'm near people now. It's like I need to step a couple.
that's
steps
just what I
aside.
always did, but now I'm justified.
Right. That's what I tell. It's funny because we have most of us with gaming aspect of it. So a lot of us are introverts, right? So we stay at home, we play our video games, we talk to the people online, that type of thing. Then you got a bunch of extrovert people, the people that are going outside. They're usually doing some type of physical activity outside, or they're going to bars, restaurants, things like that to go socialize. And then you got somebody like me that's kind of, I'm in between. Yes, I go out, socialize, do all that type of stuff too, but I'm very comfortable being an introvert as well and just hang out at the house. And it's like, how many people are like some of these young kids that are now becoming introverts because they have to stay at home because they don't have anything to do. And then later on in life will end up being extroverts still, if they ever have hope, God forbid anything like this happens again, but always assume it will. That they'll end up, how will they react in 20, 30 years if this shit goes down for them? So it's going to be interesting to see on that one, but I don't know.
Yes, it will.
Like you said, though, it could benefit them Series X. PlayStation 5, though, I think has the advantage because of exclusives.
Yeah.
It's easy. How do you sell a console?
Which is what I've been saying all
it
along.
is because they're going to have their exclusivities, but it is one of those where if they're looking at this as almost like a phone service, and the fact that you're purchasing it and you're using it, like he said, Series X, there might be Series XS, Series X1, whatever comes after that. So if they're looking at it more like a phone service, then they can adjust accordingly, right?
You know,
where
thinking about it
PlayStation-
right now, if they're smart and they built it upgradable, then you could easily return your Xbox Series X for an upgrade. They'll take that Series X, they'll take it apart, they'll upgrade it, and it will now be an Xbox Series XS, and they can resell it.
As long as none of the hardware gets any bigger.
I mean, yes, as long as they keep it like in main, like they can just
Yeah.
take it apart and upgrade it, like a PC.
Treat the box like a tower.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I mean, I agree. That's what I'm saying. As long as you don't have to, like, get a bigger fan for at any point or something like that, then that's definitely probably what's going to happen.
That's the
Yeah,
advantage
like-
of being a $1 trillion company is you can dictate, like you're the one paying for the technology to shrink the shit down
Yeah.
to be able to fit inside your box, right? So
And they would save on production costs on consoles in the long run. Like they pay it all out front, and then over time it starts paying itself back. And then boom, there you go. You don't have to make any more. You don't have to make as many consoles. You just upgrade the other ones and resell them.
and then now you're telling everybody that you're recycling the systems. So
Exactly.
now
Everybody
you're
likes
greener,
recycling.
Yeah.
right? So now you're greener, and on top of that, now you've come out with, let's say we go back to the XS, right? So you come out with the next series. It's shaped slightly different. Yes, you can upgrade, but you can't when the X1 comes out, which is the one after that. You can upgrade an XS to an X1, but you can't upgrade the original X to the X1, right? So now you either have to buy an XS and upgrade, or you have to just do the X1. So
Oh,
That
there's
could
so many
happen.
things there's so many things they could do with this, which in turn would be good for their company, and not wasting consoles anymore. Reusing stuff is also good. So we'll see how our predictions come out as the next few years, because I'm sure we'll look back at this in 5 years and be like, oh man, remember how dumb we were with that prediction? Or damn, do you remember we were spot on?
that's right. She's like, no.
We'll see. We'll see as the years go on.
While Xbox was showing off all of these trailers, this week we also got to see the story trailer for The Last of Us 2 from Sony, which looks pretty neat. I have a lot of questions, so I have a lot of questions, and I also have some assumptions.
Check the comments. They might.
No,
they
I'm
might answer
absolutely
for
not
you.
going to look at the comments after the
I
leak.
almost scrolled down. Like, I scrolled down and I was like, oh yeah, there are comments. I scrolled back. I was like, I ain't reading those.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't check. I wouldn't risk the comments if you're wanting to keep it, somewhat surprising.
Total props. I don't know if you saw Troy Baker's tweet this week, but, the day before they released the trailer, but he said, new trailer tomorrow. He said, some of you think you know what's happening, but don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Well, because, you've also got a lot of people that are trying to combat the leaks by spreading misinformation. So, it's weird. Like, I don't know if that really combats anything, but I guess it does cause a healthy dose of confusion.
Right.
So, but it looks neat.
Well, we'll have to see next month when the game comes out.
Yeah.
Yep, for
next
sure.
month.
And the only other piece of news is that currently the PlayStation Store is not available in mainland China. They have taken it down to upgrade some security stuff, apparently. Whatever that means. Nobody seems to know what that means, but security.
I wonder if it has to do with, like, they're already built inside China anyway, right? Don't they have to have a partner inside China in order to be able to build anything there that's normally westernized in some way? So I wonder if somebody's figured out a way to get through their built-in firewall, if you will, to where they can't access the outside internet or something like that. And so they're
what it actually says is here, the only reason I posted this, I kid you not, is because Xbox Fanboy claimed on Weibo that it could access backdoor elements accessible to the switch to overseas. Basically, you change your Chinese service to a different service across.
You change it to a different region.
service, right? And you could get like free of all of their censorship and whatnot. Which, if you've ever watched this, you know just as well as I do, China is extremely censored. So if they even smell a hint of anything that they're not allowing, they will shut everything fucking down and collapse the leak until there's no other way to get out. So, this pretty much shows it's a leak, and they've shut down the entire Sony network, all of mainland China, which is pretty extreme. Just so that you can fathom, imagine every Xbox is no longer able to access the internet in America. Right. Every single one. Could you imagine the panic? The amount of panic baskets that would just blow up for that day. Right. Or however many days they're going to keep it down.
Until they can fix that issue.
Yeah. Which they don't care, or they don't care about the people complaining about not being able to play their PlayStation. Just keep it down for as long as they need.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they'll... I don't know. Whatever they can do, control their own people. That's what they're going to end up doing.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it was actually written on Weibo and not deleted is the strange thing to me. That's Chinese Twitter, basically, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe deleted now.
That is a possibility. Yeah. That person's been deleted. That's a possibility. How do you know this information? Oh, no telling. Anything else?
No.
That was all the news.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of news.
Yeah. Like you said, maybe when we get back from renovations, there'll actually be a bunch
Is
of
this
stuff.
our 300th episode, too?
Yeah, this is our 300th episode.
Number 300. Congrats.
Oh, I don't have my party poppers. Poof. Yay.
So 300 episodes and then a break.
Yeah.
That's what we get.
Hey, man, I think 300 episodes means we've earned it.
That's right.
We've taken a lot of breaks.
Especially you. You're the one that does all the editing, so all we get to do is talk and find news and stuff.
Well, hey, we've done our fair share of problems too. Like if our thing messes up, we get in trouble. It's pretty important that our stuff comes out just right.
So what better time to go back through all of our old stuff? Everybody just go back through and watch.
Go back to episode 1 and listen to it, and listen to all 300 episodes.
Yeah, go back through the podcast, the original part of the podcast. That's way back in the day when it was. I think the original one was like nearly 2 hours too, and it was just me and Griff talking the entire time.
Yeah.
Do we still have access to episode 1? Is it on Pod?
Yeah, it's on Podbean. Like anywhere that you can listen to the podcast, it'll scroll.
Is there a date on it?
Yep.
You'd have to scroll back through a lot of pages. I don't know what the date on that was. Sorry.
Let's see.
You'd think that we would know, but no. Not at all.
Woo.
It was in November or December because I want to say our 1 year is always in December, right?
I don't know.
And it just before, yeah.
Maybe.
Holy
I want
shit,
to say that's right.
this is gonna take me a minute, so if you
I
want to wrap
told
up the
you.
show while I go through these.
As always, we appreciate everybody who hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. You can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka. Also, make sure you go to Grif's YouTube channel, where right now she's about to take an entire break because she's got to tear all that stuff down, all the
Yeah.
stuff that goes along with it. Go back through, watch all the stuffs, all the things. Please make sure you subscribe to her because she's an amazing human. I love her to death. So please make sure you do it because she's just hilarious to watch play a game. I was actually watching her Resident Evil 2 playthrough partly the other day, showing it to a friend. So please make sure that you do that. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. Chicken, do you have any of that stuff saved? Because you're not going to be able to stream either, are you?
No. Well, I'm gonna try. Well, I should still be able to stream. I don't have to move my stuff, so I'm gonna play Risk of Rain and just play WoW when I can.
Yeah.
I got
It's
you.
just when
Okay.
he can is the issue.
I got you. Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDBOtree where you can check me out every day of the week except for Wednesdays. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.